Since 2007, we've been watching well-meaning people find the perfect apartment, sign a lease, and think they've done everything right. They were excited to start a new life in Italy, but what they don't know is that a single piece of paper they just signed could have massive hidden financial consequences. Consequences that could cost them thousands of euros in the following years. In this video, we're trying to check and describe the Italian rental market. We're going to walk you through the entire process from the first search to signing the final contract. And most importantly, we're going to break down the different types of rental contracts and reveal the tax implications that can save you a fortune or cost you one. And this is not just about the legal side of that, it's about your peace of mind and your wallet. When you start looking for a place here in Italy, you'll probably use websites like immobiliare.it or idealista.it. You'll find the place you love and reach out to the real estate agent or the landlord directly. And this is where the first stage of the negotiation begins. They will show you the apartment, you'll discuss the price, and then you'll enter the negotiation phase. You will typically need to provide some documents to show you are a reliable tenant. This could be a copy of a passport, ID card, a letter from your past employer or current employer, proof of income, and sometimes even a bank statement or your whole tax return. That really depends. Once you and the landlord agree on the price, you move then with the contract phase. And this is where most people make the most expensive mistake because they don't understand the different types of rental agreements available and what they mean for the taxes. To date, there are three main types for long-term rental contracts here in Italy, and each one of those has a very different tax impact for both you, the tenant, and your landlord. Number one, we have the contratto a canone libero, the standard contract. This is the most common type. It's a 4+4 contract, meaning it lasts for a minimum 4 years, and it's automatically renewed for another 4. And this is what you usually get for a long-term expat. For the landlord, well, under this contract, the landlord must pay usually a progressive income tax on the rental income. That means that the rental income is added to his rental income, other income, and they can be taxed at rates that go all the way up to 43%. Because on this high tax rate, many landlords will increase the rent to cover their costs, and they will also have to pay a small annual registration fee. Generally speaking, it's split 50% each for the landlord and the tenant. For the tenant, this 4+4 you will have to pay a small registration fee, as we just said, when you sign the contract, and you will be tied to the property for 4 years. You will likely pay a higher rent than the other contract types because your landlord is paying a higher tax rate. On the other hand, as option 2, we have the cedolare secca, the flat tax contract. This is the one you want to know about. This is the holy grail of the rental contracts for most of long-term lenders here in Italy. For the landlord chooses to pay a flat tax rate on the rental income versus the 23 to 43%. So this rate usually 21% or 26% for standard contracts, but it can be as low as 10% in certain areas. So they choose this option instead of paying the high progressive income tax. And the best part, when they choose this option, they're exempt from all the registration fees. What's in it for the tenant? This is a huge win for you. Because your landlord is paying a lower fixed tax rate, they're much more likely to agree on the lower rents. You will also be exempt for all the registration fees. We've seen this single option save our clients hundreds, even thousands of euros in rent over the course of a year. Always ask your landlord if they're willing to use the cedolare secca option. It's a negotiation point that can save you a lot of money. And then we have the very common contratto transitorio, the short-term rental. This contract is for people who need a shortened lease from 1 to 18 months. It's definitely for specific temporary needs, like being Italian for a work project or for a study program. It's not general for a long-term stay. What's in it for the landlord or the tenant? The taxes work very close to the standard contract, but this is not a long-term commitment. This type of contract is often used to get around the 4-year minimum, but it can be risky. You must have a provable reason for the temporary stay, like, I don't know, a student enrollment or a specific work contract short term. And if you don't, the tax authorities can reclassify your contract as a standard 4+4 lease and hit you with the landlord with the penalties, which could impact you and the landlord. And then we have the tourist contract that must be shorter than 30 days. The contract that lasts for 30 days, there's no need to register the lease. These are what we call tourist or vacation rentals. This is where services like Airbnb operate. The landlord pays a flat tax rate on rental income, but this is not a long-term solution. You cannot live in Italy permanently on a series of short-term contracts adding. So let's summarize. When you're looking for a long-term rental, always look for the option that offers a cedolare secca as much as possible. It's a win-win for everyone. It makes the landlord's life easier with a lower tax rate, and it makes your life easier with a lower rent and no registration fees. But the most important thing to remember is this: every contract has tax implication. Don't sign anything until you understand what it means for your finances. A simple signature on the wrong piece of paper could turn your Italian dream into an expensive nightmare. So, if you're thinking about renting a home in Italy or you already signed a lease, you want to be sure that you did the right thing, we're here to help you. So, don't just hope for the best. Prepare for the best.
At Studio Rigo, we provide tax and strategic guidance for those navigating international complexity with significant interests in Italy. We work quietly, precisely, and always with the long term in mind. If you expect nothing less than clarity and control, you'll know where to find us. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.